Hello and welcome to Talking Trains with Rob. Now I've loved model railroading since I was a young boy and have tried to incorporate them into my films as an adult. Urban scenes are the best, and I have so much respect for the greats in the game. People like John Allen, George Sellios, Vic Smith, and the Miniature Wonderland team that run the world's largest model railroad in Hamburg, Germany. A lot of us were introduced to tabletop miniatures through the children's program, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Fred Rogers created his show in the late 1960s based around the neighbors and businesses in his television show's neighborhood. This was represented with a large tabletop model that the camera would pan across when Rogers would go to visit someone. I'm paying homage to him by recreating his television house for my pop culture layout. The model for Mr. Rogers' house was a Bachmann Plasticville HO scale Cape Cod house number 2617 and was available since about the 1950s. On the show it was painted a tan yellow color with the porch moved to the other side of the structure. I found mine at a model railroad swap meet a few years back. Since I love details, I decided to do a full interior based on the set used on the TV program. I painted the interior walls a sky blue, as the lighting on the show gave the set a blue cast. Well, I did use a few pieces of furniture from a model power train kit. 90% of the furnishings were made from cardstock. The coloring was done with paint, markers, and colored pencil. Cardboard and paint can do wonders. Not everything has to cost a lot of money. At 1/87th scale, I was still able to get the aquarium, the stoplight, and the trolley modeled into the scene. I had also planned to have interior lighting as well. Once the interior and exterior were completed, I turned my attentions to Mr. Rogers' yard. I decided to model it closer to the studio layout, rather than the one that was on the tabletop. I sat the structure on a piece of corrugated cardboard and roughed out the dimensions. Cutting it out, I then white glued a piece of cardstock to it to give the top and the sides a smoother surface. For the concrete curbs and sidewalks, I used cement patterned paper that I cut out and glued in place. For the front and backyard, I had purchased a roll of grass paper from the model railroad swap meet. Since there are no hills to be concerned about, it was easy enough to cut and paste the grass down to the base. The yard is surrounded by two types of fences. In the front, it's a picket fence. In the back, it's a concrete wall topped with red brick. For both of these, I used cardstock, painted them, and secured them down with super glue. I purchased a bag of green lichen online and used it to create bushes and wall ivy in the scene. All of this was tamped down with white glue, and it helped hide the bottom edge of the house. The last couple of details I added was the gray sundial that sits in the front yard and the upright sandbox that sits in the back. The sundial was made from a yellow toothpick that was painted gray, and the sandbox was made from pieces from my plastic junk box where I added some legs to it. After it was painted brown, it was super glued into the backyard. Now to finish off this project, I painted a couple of figures to resemble Mr. Rogers and Mr. McFeely talking on his front porch. I'm really happy with how this finished model turned out. It's become quite a conversation piece, and visitors are always amazed at the complete interior. I plan to make a few more videos as well as a lot of updates on my website this year. A huge thank you to my executive producers for making this all possible. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.